All right, very interesting news going on in Saudi Arabia as it relates to the United States. And I'm going to call this a triangle that we need to pay attention to. There was the meeting in Doha. There's this pending release of the 9/11 report, and then President Obama is over visiting Saudi Arabia. So, what's the genesis of all this going on? The genesis is this picture right here. This is 1974 when King Faisal requested a meeting with the United States, and Henry Kissinger was our representative. And what Faisal needed was protection. He needed protection against aggressors in the area, and he didn't have the military to give him that shield. So what he asked the United States was protection. And Kissinger said, fine, no problem, on one condition. And that is every drop of oil you and all your friends pull out of the ground must be sold in US dollars. Thus, the petrodollar was born. And this is the way the world operated all the way up until December 2013, when President Obama put a knife in Saudi Arabia's back by doing what? By anointing Iran as the regional power. Now you understand the motivation for the nuke deal. I don't think any of us will understand what's in the head of Obama, why he's so drawn to helping out Iran. But if you want to understand what caused oil to go down from fundamentally $100 a barrel down to even sub 30, and we're bouncing in the 40s now, and I've done 2 videos on this, this is the reason, right? Obama siding up with Iran made Saudi Arabia simply say, you know what, we're through with the petrodollar, and even though that there is a global slowdown, right, the demand for oil is down, Saudi Arabia is doing what? They're continuing to crank out the production, they and everybody else. So who does this hurt? Well, this hurts U.S. frackers. And who else does it hurt? It hurts Iran's best friend, Russia. And also it does hurt Iran as well. Frackers make money at $95 a barrel. Anything at 95 or higher, they're making money. Russia, it's $90. Saudi Arabia can incredibly make money at $10. Not that they want to. Obviously, they want to make a lot more than that, but that's their cost. So the point of this Doha meeting was to get all the major oil players together to figure out what they're going to do about trying to get back up to here. And what did Saudi Arabia say? No thanks, and walked out on the deal. Now to compound that, you have congressmen saying they want this 28 pages released of this report that does what? That ties, the speculation is, ties Saudi Arabia to sponsoring of terrorism. What does Saudi Arabia say about this? Saudi Arabia says, you do that, and we're going to cash in over $950 billion of what? Of U.S. treasuries. Now, you know why Obama went to visit. Folks, every month there's what's called a Treasury auction window, where the U.S. Treasury sells what? They sell U.S. bonds. And who lines up to buy these? Other countries, because they need someplace safe to put their money, and they also need it for what? They need it for reserving. Why reserving? Gets back to this petrodollar. If everything's bought across the world in U.S. dollars, you have to hold U.S. dollars when someone buys. So if someone comes in, let's just take Saudi Arabia, for example. Let's say the country of Denmark buys oil from Saudi Arabia. Well, guess what? Denmark needs U.S. dollars and Saudi Arabia needs U.S. dollars in order for this exchange to take place. That's what reserving is all about. So big countries, Saudi Arabia, China, everybody's buying the U.S. bonds out of this auction window every month. Whatever's left over. Remember, why are we doing this? We're doing this because we have a budget to meet, right? We need to pay bills. So whatever's left over, who buys the leftover? Our wonderful Federal Reserve. That's not a good thing that we are buying our own debt, just so you understand. So when Saudi Arabia makes this threat of, you know what, we're going to dump $950 billion, not that that's not a lot of money, but it's what this spark would ignite. it would cause other people to do the same, because you sell this, the price of U.S. Treasuries go down, and other people say, well, wait a minute, if it's going down, I better get out now so I get my value, and then this thing just spirals down. This concept is a continuous threat in regards to China. China is buying gold like crazy. They've been allowed in the IMF basket of currency, which is called a special drawing right. China launched its own CIPS, China International Payment System, which does what? It competes with this right here. It competes with this whole concept of paying for everything, in oil in this case, in US dollars. China is saying, no, no, use our currency system. All of this is a threat to the United States, and that's why you have the importance of this triangle right here. We have to pay attention to what's going on. It is no small thing that a president of the United States gets on a plane and goes and visits an oil partner. This is a real issue that we need to pay attention to. So we'll keep an eye out on this together. Check in with Brinkman Academy for other updates. Thanks for watching.